Yeah, I think it's just part of it. You know, there's entertainers and there's competitors, and I totally understand that. And my job is to compete, and that's what I'm focused on doing.
Then after social media ran with a quote insinuating that Gabriel was alluding to his fellow quarterback in Shedeur Sanders, Gabriel was asked about the quote post-game and clarified his comments.
Yeah, first off, I'm all about our team, you know what I mean, and each other. I would never make that, and I've said it before, that's why it's interesting. But for me, I've explained it. Entertainers are you all, competitor. That's what I am and all my teammates, and we both have jobs to do. So that's it.
All right, our front office insider Mike Tannenbaum here joining the party. Mike T, you heard Dillon Gabriel right there. What was your reaction to the comments?
I mean, I was surprised and disappointed. Dillon Gabriel really comported himself really well while he was in college. Those comments really fell short on a number of levels. Look, as a GM, I would sit down and say, hey, your only job is to get better as a rookie quarterback. Worry about yourself and compliment your teammates, compliment your coaches. You shouldn't be talking about a teammate or the media, which you try to clean up afterwards. So he's just trying to make the team. He had a pretty good start despite 2 turnovers. So that to me was a little bit out of character, and that was really unacceptable. I'm glad he tried to change things afterwards, but I'd be surprised if we heard him say anything close to that moving forward.
Yeah, Stephen A., it got really messy on social media. People just assuming that Dillon Gabriel was talking about Shedeur Sanders. What was your reaction?
I never believed he was talking about Shedeur Sanders. I totally believed him when he said he was talking about the media. I want to get that out the way first. I don't think he was talking about Shedeur Sanders as well. I think when you heard the comparisons were emanating from the media more so than anybody else. And that's exactly who I think he was directing his comments towards. Having said that, Dillon Gabriel, respectfully, it was stupid. A very dumb comment to make. First of all, let me tell you something right now. In every walk of life, far beyond the parameters of a football field, people are competing. We compete here on television. You compete with radio shows. You compete on Wall Street. You compete on Madison Avenue. Everything, especially in America, as it pertains to a capitalistic society, involves competition. To the victor goes the spoils. There are people that are, Jimmy Johnson said it best. He said, I will be very, very consistent in treating you as inconsistently as possible. Those who produce get treated differently than those who don't. What he said echoes the mentality of all of America practically, and most certainly the world, as we see things being globalized more and more every day. It was a stupid, idiotic, immature comment because clearly you were feeling the heat because a lot of people was talking about how Shedeur should be QB number 2. But I know he was not talking about Shedeur Sanders. He was talking about the media. Here's the problem. You've now heightened the level of scrutiny coming your way because the media, including myself, heard what you said. So in other words, it's entertainment. It's not competition, really. So when you go out there and you compete like trash, because you will have days when you look like that, we're going to remember those comments. And we're going to remember the shot that you took at the Fourth Estate, which is the media institution. Whether we like to or not, some of us will be kind, like myself, because we don't want to do that to you. Others will be merciless. But in the end, no one will be wrong, because who instigated that fury against you? It would be you. Very, very idiotic and stupid for you to say what you said.
I don't know Dillon Gabriel, so I'm going to take him at his word. I have no reason to doubt or think that he's making up an excuse for it now. But the most important part of this, or the most important people who their thoughts or what their thoughts are Shedeur, one, and then the guys in the locker room, two. Because they may not believe it. So does Dillon go to Shedeur? Do they have a conversation about it? Does he feel like he needs to address it with Shedeur man to man and say, this wasn't about you? Does Shedeur believe him? Does Shedeur think that he's taking a shot at him? Because at the end of team, we, and any little thing can fracture it. And coming off of last week's performance, and at least by a lot of reports, Shedeur's got a lot of support in that locker room. Guys have gravitated towards him by reports. And so are people upset about it? Do guys in the locker room, does it now fracture a little bit? And this is the challenge for Kevin Stefanski? Does he address it? Is it those people's thoughts are what matter the most right now when it comes to Gabriel's comments. I don't know the young man, so I'm going to take him at his word that he wasn't taking a shot. That doesn't mean everybody's going to view it that way.
Yeah, Mike T, that's what I was thinking. Like, if you're Kevin Stefanski, do you address the situation because of how it's blown up over the weekend?
I mean, absolutely. You have to be, solve these problems. And again, you're talking about two rookie quarterbacks here. They have to earn their way onto the roster. But that's totally unacceptable. Again, like when you're a rookie, it's all about, hey, I'm just happy to be here. I want to get coached. I want to get developed. The fact that even if he is, to Stephen A's point, calling out the media, what are you doing? You're a third-round pick. There's 4 quarterbacks. 99% of the league is going to keep 3. And by the way, if you get cut, your audience when you speak is the 31 other decision makers, and it's a way for you to let people know how good you are, what a great teammate you are. So again, it could be detrimental to him on a few different levels.
It was a mistake. He wasn't talking about Shedeur Sanders. He came out right after the press conference or after that interview and clarified what he meant. Okay, so you're taking a shot at the media. Okay, fine. You're saying he could get cut, or if he were to get cut. The Browns are going to keep, I believe, 4 quarterbacks. So they're going to hold on to all of them. Dillon Gabriel is going to have a job in Cleveland. He's going to have a job in the NFL. But this is, again, a reflection of the tough spot that both quarterbacks are in. When 2 rookies come in, you're competing for your jobs all the time. Now you're competing against a fellow rookie. You're pitted up against each other. We could think of, as it came up this morning, the situation between, at one point in time, RG3 and Kirk Cousins.
Sure.
There's a natural competition in that room on top of all the other competition that creates a semi-awkward situation where it's not great for either guy. They're both playing well. That's the ultimate goal. The Browns come out ahead there. But in the long run, not everybody's going to be in Cleveland. Yeah. There's just not enough room for everybody, especially for a team with 2 first-round draft picks in 26.
I think the other part, Adam, that and I appreciate where you're coming from, but I think the part that can't be ignored is the Shedeur Sanders element in terms of what would people have thought had he made that. We would, there's a mass audience out there who would have embraced it differently. And so even though I don't believe he was talking about Shedeur Sanders, Dan Orlovsky is taking him at his word. You echoed what his sentiments were, as obviously you believe him and what have you. It doesn't escape the fact that it invites just a level of scrutiny that can't be avoided. Had that been Shedeur Sanders who made that exact comment, it would have been taken completely differently. How much of a benefit of a doubt would he have gotten that he wasn't talking about Dillon Gabriel? How much would he have been excoriated for talking about the media that way? And so because of that, now you're going to look at people and they're going to say, okay, well, it wasn't him. He's the dude that went out there and played very, very well in his preseason debut. This guy, Dillon Gabriel, he still had good moments, 3rd down, 6 for 6, completing his passes was impressive, had composure in the pocket, et cetera, et cetera. There was a lot of good things to say about Dillon Gabriel. But he threw shade on his own performance by showing he was paying attention to stuff he need not pay attention to. And yes, he's young, and yes, he should be forgiven, and yes, he'll overcome it if he has the skills to do so. But I assure you, folks are not going to forget, particularly the media, how he came at it if he struggles even a little bit. Because what did he say? We know nothing about competition. It's about entertainment. Competition doesn't just take place on the court or field of play. It takes place up here too, in a variety of industries. Go talk to Wall Street. Go talk to all of these Fortune 500 companies. Go talk to media and what have you. There's competition all over the place. It ain't just on the damn football field. It was a very ignorant comment for him to make.
Yeah, it is something that Dillon Gabriel did say that he has said before when he was in college. However, probably just not the right time for him to say it